Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about threat modeling. This is a very important concept in cybersecurity and also if you're just studying for the CISSP exam. I'm going to keep it very simple because even if this is your first time hearing the terms, you can get a clear understanding of what it is, why it matters, and how everything is done. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Threat modeling is just a way to think about what could go wrong when it comes to security. If I put it in simple terms, it's like putting your attacker goggles and asking, if I wanted to break into this system, how would I do it? And we use threat modeling to find and fix security issues before the attackers find them. And this whole concept can be used for applications, networks, devices, systems, even the business processes. So basically anything that's worth protecting, right? And the main purpose is to identify the threats, understand them, and mitigate them. Now let's look at the two main styles of threat modeling. First one is defensive and the other one is reactive approach. Defensive is also known as proactive and reactive is known as threat hunting or adversarial approach. Defensive threat modeling means thinking about threats early on, usually during the design or planning phase. This is where you ask what could go wrong before we build anything. And it helps you to design the security right from the start. Some examples of defensive models are stride, past, and vast. And then there's reactive threat modeling, which happens right after the system is built or sometimes even when there's a security incident. So here you're analyzing what's already in place and figuring out where the gaps are. An example for this model is threat. Okay, so this is something very important, how we actually identify threats. There are three main ways to do it. Each one gives you a different perspective. First, you can start with the asset. Ask yourself the question, what are we trying to protect? So this could be sensitive data, user credentials, financial records, anything that's valuable. Second, you can start with the attacker. Ask the question, who might want to attack us and what would they gain from that? Are we worried from insider attacks, external adversaries, competitors? So this helps us think like the enemy, right? And the third one is you can start with the system itself. Break it down and ask, what does the system do? Where and how can it be misused or abused? Okay, so now we're moving to the main threat models. This is very important for CISSP according to my understanding. So one of the most well-known threat modeling frameworks is the Stride. This is created by Microsoft and it's especially helpful when you're working with software or application design. Now, Stride is actually an acronym. Each letter stands for a different type of threat you should be watching out for. So here's the breakdown. S stands for spoofing. Spoofing is when someone pretends to be like somebody else, like faking a login or identity. T stands for tampering, which means changing data you're not supposed to, like an unauthorized person altering a file or system settings. Then R stands for repudiation, which is about denying an action. Maybe a person does something bad, but claims that it wasn't them. Information disclosure is the one that stands for I. This is when sensitive data gets exposed, like it can be accidental or it can be intentional. D stands for denial of service, and this is when someone makes the system unavailable, maybe by flooding it with traffic. And the last one is elevation of privilege. This is when someone with low-level access finds a way to gain admin-level control. Next is the model PASTA, which stands for Process for Attack Simulation and Threat Analysis. This is a risk-based approach to threat modeling, which means it's not just about finding technical issues, but also understanding how those issues could impact the business. PASTA has 7 stages, but you don't have to memorize all of them. Just understand the way the steps coordinate with each other. So you will then understand what will happen next in that particular model, right? This is more detailed than Stride, and it is used in high-risk industries like banking, healthcare, or anywhere security is tied to a serious business impact. Okay, now we're moving on to a modern threat modeling approach, which is the VAST. This stands for Visual, Agile, and Simple Threat Modeling. Now, what makes VAST different from other models like Stride or Pasta is that it is designed to work in large companies, especially those using Agile or DevOps workflows. The goal in this model is to let each team focus on their risks without slowing down the development process. And as the name says, it uses visualization tools to make everything easier. Instead of making one big model for everything, VAST splits threat modeling into two parts. One is for application teams where they focus on things like how the app is built and where the vulnerabilities might pop up in the code or logic. And the other part is for operation teams, where they look at the infrastructure, the networks, cloud setups, and deployment environments. Alright, now let's look at threat, which is a way to rate and prioritize threats once you have identified them. So this helps you to figure out how serious each threat is so you can decide what to fix first. So again, this is an acronym. D stands for damage, and it means like how much harm could this threat cause. R stands for reproducibility. Can the attack be repeated easily? The next one is exploitability. This is to answer the question how easy it is to actually carry out the attack. A stands for affected users. How many people would be impacted if this particular attack happens? D stands for discoverability. How easy is it for an attacker to find this weakness? You give each of these a score, usually maybe like from 1 to 10, and then you add them up, right? The higher the score, the higher the risk. So, for example, if a threat scores 9 or 10 in every category, then you know that you should fix it right away. So this is all for this video. I hope you all understood about the term threat modeling and the most used threat models. Plus, these are the threat models that I explained in the CISSP study guide. So if you all have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section and I'll answer. Thank you.